Hey, what's going on, everybody? Let's get the chat open. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? By the way, guys, if you guys have cameras, if you please can flip your cameras on so I can see you guys. This is going to be a more like personal, close-knit, interactive workshop. So I'm super excited to jump on here with you guys. Hey, Andres. Hey, Jermaine, Mark, Stephanie. How we doing, guys? If you guys can, if you guys have cameras, please turn your cameras on. I'm going to hang around for a minute or two. We will let some people kind of join the room, and then we will kick things off. Hey there, Mark. How's it going?
Good.
By the way, if you guys have your cameras on, I'm going to treat you differently. I'm going to answer your questions faster. I'll be able to interact with you quicker. I can see your facial expressions. Hey, Casey, how are you?
Doing good.
Nice to meet you. Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
So
Thank you.
thanks for joining today. So today's going to be all about funnel building. So we're going to have some fun today. We're going to talk about building funnels. We're going to talk about generating leads. This is a very close-knit group. There's not going to be a lot of people on today. I'm hoping that we get max like 10 or 15 people on today, because there's people that are going to be watching the replays from, different hours of the world. So first and foremost, thank you guys for joining. Are you guys pumped up? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? Is everybody good? Drop a number 5 in the chat. If you guys, once again, for those of you who just joined, if you have cameras, if you can please turn your cameras on, makes the experience 1,000 times better, and I would greatly appreciate it. So first and foremost, just to kind of kick things off here, how many of you guys right now have went into Dashlink so far and built a funnel yet? Or how many of you guys have built a funnel maybe on another platform? Go ahead and drop a number 1 in the chat. And if you haven't, go ahead and drop a number 2 in the chat. That's totally cool too. All right, so 1. Okay, cool. So a couple of you already have, which is great. And what type of funnels did you guys build? What's the end goal of the actual funnel that you built? Go ahead and drop it in the chat. Or if you want, feel free to unmute yourself and just jump right on it.
So it was to get people to a seminar, and it was on a different platform.
Okay, cool. So you built basically was this a seminar that you were hosting?
No, that a client of mine was hosting.
Okay, cool. All right, awesome. All right, and did you run traffic to that?
She ran traffic to it. I didn't.
Okay, cool. Got it. All right. So today, primarily, I think I want to start with you guys with basically, I think one of the main reasons why probably everybody's here. How many people right now have an agency and want to generate leads for their agency? Right? Can we just drop a number 3 in the chat really quick just to make sure that we're on the same page? And if that's not you, totally cool. Drop in the chat. Let me know why you're here. But primarily, anything that I teach you guys today is once again going to be revolved around funnel building, generating traffic. But I think the majority of what I really want to go down today is the understanding and the importance of how funnels can actually affect your business. Because I don't think that many people grasp. I think like when I started my agency, I started in 2009. I didn't know anything.
I have to get my mom with me.
Right, at all. I knew absolutely nothing about funnel building. And it wasn't probably until I would say maybe 2015-ish, 2016, where I really started understanding what funnels are, right? And funnels basically changed the game for my business, for both my agency, both for DashClicks. It was an absolute game changer for us. It got us to the point where, and I'm going to go ahead and just mute everybody so we can get some clear audio. Feel free to jump in if you want to ask any questions. But funnels essentially got me to in my honest opinion, probably the next step, the next milestone in my career, right? As you can see, for those of you guys who are familiar with ClickFunnels, which is another funnel building platform, there's a 2 comma club right there, which basically means I've processed just in one funnel alone over $1 million worth of sales, right? So I've built many different types of funnels. I've built webinar funnels. I've built VSL funnels, which are called virtual sales letter funnels. I've built sales funnels. I've built application funnels. And the reality is every type of funnel has a different purpose, right? So for you guys today, I wouldn't focus on selling things inside of a funnel right now. What I would primarily focus on is how do I actually generate leads for my business via a funnel, right? And I think the beautiful thing about a funnel and why I like it so much is how many people right now are using themselves to either sell or have a VA to sell, right? How many people are doing sales right now in their agency? Just drop a number one in the chat, right? Everybody should be dropping a number one in the chat. If you're not selling, I don't know what you're doing, right? So for me, funnels basically acts as kind of this like 24/7 sales machine, or in this case, lead generation machine that basically allows me to pump out leads, pump out sales, pump out applications, whatever my end goal is. It allows me basically to do that 24/7, right? And that's basically the dream. So imagine generating leads while you're sleeping, right? Now, one thing that you should also note at the same time is if you're going to be building a funnel, you're going to need to find a way to generate traffic to that funnel, right? So usually my recommendations is going to be running Facebook ads to the funnel. So for those of you guys who don't have a budget yet to run ads, it's going to be a little bit difficult to use this strategy, but keep this in mind, obviously. You can even start with a smaller budget, so maybe like $100, $200 and throw a couple $100 at it and see where it goes, and then generate some leads and then come back and do it again, basically, right? If you don't have any money for ad spend yet, then you can use your network and drive traffic that way. It's just going to be obviously a little bit more of a slower organic approach for the most part. Okay. How many of you guys right now are selling high ticket in your agency? And when I say high ticket, it's maybe $1,000 plus. So you're selling services or software for maybe $1,000 a month plus, right? Say, drop number 2 in the chat. And how many of you guys are selling services or products that are $1,000 and less? Drop a number 5 in the chat if that's you, just so I can kind of feel the room out. Okay, cool. One thing that funnels will allow you to do, for those of you guys that have dropped the number 5 in the chat, and obviously for those who've dropped the number 2, but what it's going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to warm up your audience big time. And if you build it the right way, essentially what's going to happen is it's going to allow you to get them to the point where they're almost sold. They just need to be kind of like pushed over the edge, right? And when you are working within like a lead generation funnel or an application funnel, by the way, if you don't know what those terms mean, a lead generation funnel is a simple way for you to generate leads. That can be something as similar like a lead magnet, where it's like, hey, I want the 10 best ways to help you generate leads for your business. Give me your name and email, and I'll give you a cheat sheet on how to do that, right? And that's a way for you to generate a lead, right? It's basically getting contact information in exchange for something else, right? Going through and building, maybe call it, let's say, an application funnel, right? Where an application funnel will go a little bit deeper. Instead of give me your name and email and I'll give you something in return, like a cheat sheet or a PDF or something like that, you're going a little bit deeper, and the end goal of that is to generate basically somebody filling out an application to work with you, right? That's where your leads will tend to get hotter, right? You're starting to actually generate warmer leads, right? And then obviously later on down the road, you have sales funnels, right? Which is you're actually literally like having somebody whip out a credit card and purchase stuff from you right there on the funnel. Now, because you guys are agencies and you're obviously selling marketing services or software, the chances of somebody whipping out their credit card and purchasing your Facebook ad service or your Google ad service right there in the funnel is slim to none. That's why we do things like an application funnel, right? Or a lead generation funnel. I can also give you some pointers as to figure out kind of the direction that we'll choose for the funnel that might be a better fit for you. If you're going to be building out lead generation funnels, I'll talk to you about the pros and cons about kind of each and every funnel, right? So a lead generation funnel is something as simple as here's a PDF, here's a downloadable item, here's a video that you can watch, here's something, and in return, give me your name and email, right? Now, if you're running Facebook ads to a lead generation funnel, you can probably get leads for like $5, right? $5 to $10 is pretty much the norm if you're running a Facebook ads campaign, right? Obviously, don't run ads and say, Chad, I'm getting leads for $16. You lied to me during the webinar, right? These are just rough numbers. I can just tell you from running these lead generation funnels for years, that's kind of going to be your average cost. Now, lead generation funnels are also top of funnel, right? And let me actually whip out my handy dandy whiteboard here. Give me a second. I'll draw a beautiful picture here for you, right? Let's get this out of the way. Cool. So obviously, if you can think about basically a funnel here, and I'll just draw the prettiest funnel that I can draw using a mouse, right? So there's different stages inside of a funnel, right? And at the end, your goal is essentially to generate money at the other end. We're all big boys and big girls, and we understand why we're here, right? It's to make revenue for your companies, right? Along the way, you will help people and service people and all of those great things. But at the end of the day, you're here to generate revenue for your business, right? So we have to understand what that is and what the end goal is, right? Usually, if you're running a lead generation funnel, right? So let's just say like LG for lead gen funnel, that's kind of like top of funnel. And what that basically means is it's like the easiest barrier to entry to just get somebody into your world. Okay. Here's the pros and cons. A lot of people run lead generation funnels. Lead generation funnels are low cost per lead, right? So your leads are like $5 a piece, call it $5-10 a piece, right? The problem is on the con side is they don't know you enough. They are not warmed up to you in order for you to basically bring them from here to here. Like you can't call somebody and be like, hey, I see you just opted in and downloaded my 10 free PDF on how to generate leads for your real estate business. I actually want to do a consultation call with you and sell you something, right? Like you just, it doesn't work like that, right? This is what we call top of funnel. A lot of people that do these top of funnel strategies will have like a whole back end, like emails going out, right? They'll have like series of emails, right? And the goal of that is they'll basically use those emails to push people to an application, right? So us as agencies, the goal is the end goal, right? It's kind of like in sequential order. You got to get somebody into your world. Then once they're basically into your world, you got to get them on your calendar, right? And then once they're on a calendar, you got to get them on an actual call with you. Hopefully they show up to the call, right? And then hopefully if they show up to the call, then hopefully you close the deal, right? And that's kind of like the domino effect that you need to do, right? Where I see a lot of people going the quick route, and this is something that I learned on later in my career because I used to actually run this strategy, and I used to think that I could just get people to go from here to here very quickly, but it's damn near impossible, right? Very hard. So now what a lot of people will do is they'll do what they call an application funnel, and an application funnel will actually warm people up. It gets people super warm to the point where they're very interested to work with you. And at this point, they want to book some time on your calendar to find out what the actual costs are to move forward, right? How many people right now would love to just wake up in the morning and have somebody booked on their calendar that's actually watch their training, understand that this is a paid thing and this is not like a free thing, right? And actually wants to speak to them about how to move forward with their service, right? How many people want that, right? Can we drop a number 5 in the chat if that's you? Where's my chat roll? Let me get my chat going on here. Cool. Yeah, I think everybody wants that. That's like the dream, right? So that kind of like ends up like right here, right? That's like your application funnel, right? We'll just call it AP for application funnel, right? Because usually a lot of the times when you're building out an application funnel, you'll kind of go through different stages of the funnel. You'll go through different funnel pages, as we call them, right? And the first page would be like, okay, well, let's exchange some information first, right? So imagine you met somebody at a club, and you're interested in this person, right? You're just gonna run up to them and start kissing them, right? You got to take it in stages, right? So this is kind of like this analogy that I'll use, right? So this is kind of like asking somebody out on a date, right? And then this is basically taking them out on a date. And then this is hopefully sealing the deal at the end here and getting them to book on your calendar. Okay. But the goal is, and I'll draw this out and then I'll build this out. We'll build this here together because I want you guys to more so understand the concept of this whole thing, because you can build this funnel within like an hour and just fill in the gaps, right? And start running traffic to it. It's not necessarily the hard part to build the funnel. The harder part is to understand the concept and the numbers and how this whole thing actually functions, right? So going through now and generating leads. So your funnel might look like, I'm just going to clear this really quick. So let's clear this, clear all my drawings, right? So your funnel might be like a 4-page funnel, right? And you might have the first page where it's like your landing page. I'll just call it LP, right? And your landing page might have literally a headline, right? Some text on top, and maybe like an image or a video, maybe some bullet points, right? And a form, basically. Maybe there's like a form here or something, right? Or a button that opens up a form, right? Which in most cases I'll do. Forget about the design right now. I'm not too worried about the design or how the funnel looks, right? But the goal of this landing page is to collect information, right? And most of the times you'll want to collect name and email, right? So we're going to collect the name and we're going to collect an email here. Okay, sorry for the handwriting, I'm using a mouse. Now, once somebody comes into the funnel and they give you their name and email address, well, then you have to give them something in return. Now, a lot of the time, if we're framing this in a way where our goal is to get somebody to apply for something, right? Get somebody to fill out an application, here is where you're going to want to put some type of training, right? So that material that you're going to give in this specific strategy should be a training, right? So I'm going to just call this TR for training, okay? And the goal of this is literally there's just a title up top. There is a video with your training on it, which is very simple. You can create a video, upload it to YouTube or Vimeo, and embed that training right here, okay? And then there's going to be a button, okay? And that button is going to get them to basically get more information from you, okay? Now the point of this, and I'll kind of walk through I'll walk through some examples of this so you understand how this functions. I'm just going to continue building out the pages so we can see the whole framework, and then we'll kind of like simulate traffic and understand how this thing works when they go through, right? Now, when they click this button, there's going to be your application page, right? So you're going to have your app page. And this is basically where maybe you can have a title, right? And you're going to have a link to your calendar, right? So your calendar will be here. And this is where you can like embed your Calendly, right? And they can select specific days to get in contact with you and basically get more information. And once they actually book, we're going to have another page, which is going to be a thank you page, right? Call this TY for thank you. Right, then we'll have another title, and I like to put a video on here, and I'll explain to you why I like to do that. But I like to add another video on here, right? That basically says, thank you for booking. Here's what kind of to expect next, right? Things that'll help increase show up rate. My goal during this time, guys, by the way, that we have together is for you, once again, to be able to not get stuck when we're done with this training. My goal is when you're done with this, you can literally go into Dashlix within like an hour and build this whole thing out and start running traffic to it. Okay, is everybody good with that? Drop a number 2 in the chat. So I don't want to make this over confusing or over complicate things. So I want you guys to just understand the framework of how this all works. Okay. So basically, if you build this type of funnel also, and I'll give you some pro tips, because remember before we said, well, if I'm just collecting information here, well, a lot of the times this can cost me like $5 to $10, right? 5 to maybe like $10. Okay. And this is basically cost me about $5 to $10 to get me for somebody to input their information and get to the next step in my funnel, right? It's going to cost me about $5 to $10 to do that. All right. Now, to get people to actually book on their calendar and end up on your actual calendar, right? So they're on the thank you page because they get redirected to the thank you page. That's going to cost a little bit more than that. Okay. And sometimes it can be upwards of even $100 to $200. And I know some of you guys are thinking, well, that's crazy, Chad, right? But it can cost upwards of 100 to 200. I've seen it be $50. I've seen it be $500. And this really all depends on what's in here, what's in this training, right? And this page right here is kind of going to be the gold mine here. All right. So we understand the framework and we understand just somewhat of like just average rough number costs of what's actually happening here. Okay. Now what we want to do is we actually want to go and we want to actually build this funnel, right? Now, before we build this funnel, I like to create a checklist for myself because I like to actually build the components and the strategy before I actually go into a funnel builder and build the pages. Most people go in, they'll build all the pages and they'll start plugging stuff in. I like to actually do it in reverse, right? So I know that I'm going to need a couple of things. I know that I'm going to need a training video here. Okay, that's the first thing that I'm going to need, right? This training video, right? And then I know that I'm going to need a thank you video here. I know that I'm going to need a Calendly booking page here, right? So I got to get a Calendly account and I have to just create an event and just embed that in there. That should take me like 10 minutes to do. Okay. And that's basically what I need. And I know that when I'm done with all of this, I'm going to be sending all my traffic to this page. This is where I'm going to pay Mark Zuckerberg to send all of my traffic to, right? So all my Facebook ad traffic is going to go straight to this page. Okay. Now, when you're building a funnel, you have to understand that the framework has to make sense and has to work the entire way through, right? So whatever you're saying in your ads has to match to whatever is going to be on your landing page, has to match to whatever is going to be in your training, has to match with whatever your actual offer is going to be. Like all of those dots actually have to connect. Does that make sense, guys? I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about, right? If you are running Facebook ads, and in your Facebook ads, you're saying, hey, let's say you target realtors as an example, right? You're saying, hey, realtors, I'm going to show you how to generate leads for your real estate agency, right? And then you're bringing them through a landing page, and that landing page is basically saying the same thing. Put in your name and email address, and in this 15-minute training, I will show you how we generate leads for real estate agencies. I'll show you the secrets on how to do that, right? And then they come in and they do the training. And then your offer is basically like, well, now work with me and let's actually fill out an application below and get more information, right, on how we can actually provide this service. But if you've given up everything that they need to understand here inside of the training, then they're not going to actually book a call with you, right? So everything has to line up 100% perfectly to the point where these are how you actually reduce these numbers, right? Having a really powerful ad, having a really powerful landing page, having a really powerful training, having a really powerful offer as to why they should even book an application, fill out an application with you, right? All of these things will literally reduce all of these numbers at every single stage within your funnel. Does that make sense, guys? Can we drop a number 3 in the chat if that makes sense? Just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Okay, cool. Let's go through before we go in and start building out funnels and stuff like that, let's go through just niches. How many of you guys target a specific niche that you want to go after? Go ahead and drop that in the chat for me, please. What niches are you targeting for your agency? Medical aesthetics, dentists, car washing, dentists, coaches and consultants. Okay. All right. Let me give you guys a little bit of some pro tips here. Okay. Physical therapy, My recommendations to you is I would try to figure out, go all the way to the first step of where all of the traffic is coming from, and see if you can actually have your audience inside as a traffic source for Facebook. Okay. Because if you cannot, as an example, if you cannot find where dentists are basically congregating and getting together, right? And you can't target dentists, then this won't work for you, right? Does that make sense? You have to figure out if your traffic source actually works, right? And you can actually send traffic, right? I know, as an example, you can on Facebook target dentists, right? I know, as an example, you can on Facebook target realtors, right? I know, as an example, you can on Facebook target chiropractors, right? There are specific ways in which you can do that. And the easiest way to do that is literally go in and open up a Facebook ad account. Okay. And I'll show you like just a very simple way to do that. Let me go ahead and stop my screen here. Let me open up my Facebook ad account. Give me 1 second, guys. Cool. All right, so we can go to any Facebook ad account. I'm just going to go into one of the ones that I already have, just as an example. Okay. All right. And what you want to do is you want to go to basically the targeting right here. So as an example, right, this is basically where you're telling Facebook who you want to see your ads, right? So somebody said dentists, right? So if I go in and I start typing dentists, right? So people that list their job titles as general dentists, associate dentists, people that are employers of or employees of general dentists, pediatric dentist as their job title, cosmetic dentist. Let's just say, as an example, I pick general dentist, right? And then I can just click on suggestions, and then Facebook will give me more. We'll say, okay, well, cool. I want to target dentist, cosmetic dentist, dentistry, right? Maybe all of these people are in the world dentist up, right? So like all, and then obviously I would keep going down, right? And I would build an audience that would basically see my ad, because I know if I have all the dentists inside of my audience on Facebook, and then I create an ad and I show that ad to that audience that's all dentists, and that ad basically says, hey, watch a short training on how you can create a system to generate unlimited clients for your dental practice on autopilot. And that was your ad, right? And that got shown to dentists. And then they would go in there and they would give you their name and email address. Okay. And then your training was showing them how they can use a specific strategy to generate leads for their dental practice. Right. And then at the end of that, you're basically telling them, hey, if you want us to do this for you, then go ahead and fill out the application below and let's do a free consultation. We'll even run a report on your business to see where your business currently stands online, right? And you can use Insta reports for that, right? Just as an example, right? You can use a lot of these different strategies, right? That was just the most rudimentary example that I can give you guys. And you can do this for basically any niche, right? So if you go in here, right, and you type in realtor, right? There we go. Job title is a realtor. I just click realtors and I go to suggestions and I'm like, okay, cool. Real estate agent / broker, job title. Great. Here's one. There's real estate broker, right? Real estate agent, right? You can target these and segment these as much as you want. And the same concept would be here, right? What if I can show you how to generate 100 leads per month for your real estate company completely on autopilot? Give me your name and email address and I'll show you how to do it, right? The whole point of this, guys, is to understand that you want to get as many eyeballs as you can, but you want to match those eyeballs to people who actually give a shit about what your ad says, right? Does that make sense, guys? It's very simple. You just have to connect the two, okay? And you can do this for pretty much anything, guys, okay? My recommendations is to come in here and to come into this little box on the ad set level under detail targeting and figure out if you can actually target your ideal, basically your niche, right? So let me see some of what the other guy says. Let me make sure everybody's in the room. Want to make sure I'm not leaving anybody outside of the room. Stephanie, looks like everybody's in the room, just to give you a heads up. All right, cool. So let's say, like somebody said car washing, right? So if I go to car wash, I don't think you're going to be able to target that on Facebook, right? Employers of a car wash, right? Or the job title is car washer. But you also want to look at the audience. The audience is like under 1,000 people, which is basically nothing, right? You want to get your audience at least, I would say, at least above 10,000 people, right? You want to get your audience. So like you have to go in here and play around with this. And once you actually find an audience that works for you, right? Once you actually find an audience that works for you, that should basically be your first step. That's what I would do first, right? And then going back to this, I would start plugging this in. And let's just say, as an example, we wanted to go after dentists, right? So if I know that I can target dentists on Facebook, right? Well, then I know my whole campaign. I know that my landing page needs to be revolved around dentists. I know that my training needs to be revolved around dentists. I know that my application page needs to be revolved around dentists. I know that my thank you page needs to be revolved around dentists. And I know that my offer, which is what I'm actually going to be offering them, is going to be revolved around dentists. So that way, somebody who comes in all the way from beginning to end, it makes sense for them the whole way through, right? Is anybody getting these are guys, these are like, by the way, super basic frameworks. I just want to make sure that you guys are understanding what's going on, okay? Is everybody understand what's going on? Can we drop a number 5 in the chat? Let me just get a quick pulse around the room to make sure everybody's on the same page here, right? This is super basic stuff, guys, but I want you to understand the concepts of how all of this stuff works and how you can put everything together. Okay. And if you have any questions, guys, feel free to drop it in the chat. I'll be here answering your questions live. All right. All right, cool. Awesome. All right. So if we know that we're going to be targeting dentists, and we'll just keep running with this as an example, right? Then let's start building, right? Let's figure out what we're actually going to do. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to jump into the funnel builder really quick. I'm going to go into funnels and I'm just going to click a brand new dental leads. I'll just call it dental leads. And then the first path or the first step of my funnel, I would want to call it register, because this is basically where they're going to register to watch a training, that first step in my funnel, right? So if I go back, I want to make sure everybody understands what we're actually building out here. If I go to the whiteboard, we're going to be building out these 4 pages right here inside of our funnel builder. All right, it's as simple as that. Okay, so we need to build out a landing page. We need to build out our training page. We need to build out our application page, and we need to build out our thank you page. And then once we have this built out, then we can plug videos in. Just for the sake of time, obviously, I'm not going to sit here and create video trainings, but I'll give you guys some ideas and then you can plug in your videos, right? And then it's just the last piece is sending traffic, right? And then at the end, I'll talk to you guys about how to look to optimize your funnels to make sure that you can bring costs down over time. All right, but let's start building. I'm going to build this super basic dental leads funnel. All right, so if I know the first step that I want to do essentially is I need a landing page. Okay, so basically what I want to do is let's do full width. I will create a 1 column header, and sometimes I like to do the background in black. All right, and I will do this in white, and we're just going to build a super basic funnel. Okay, doesn't have to be anything crazy, right? And this is bold, so I'll actually change the bold color. Cool. Now, usually when you're building a headline for your opt-in, you want to have a title that's actually going to match, obviously, who you're speaking to, right? And then you also want to think about, well, what does that person really want? So if we're targeting dentists, if dentists are going to basically see our ads, and I know, well, what does every dentist that owns a dental practice want? They want more dental practice clients, right? That's what they're looking for. They're looking for more clients, right? And this is not like a hidden thing, guys. Every business, they're looking for more clients. That's what they want at the end of the day. That's the outcome, right? They want more clients so they can make more money and they can grow their business faster. That's what they're looking for, right? And if we know that that's what they're looking for, then my headline should probably talk about that because that's something that interests them, right? So maybe what I want to say is how to, because I'm going to be doing a training, right? Where I'm going to be showing them how to do something specific, right? How to generate more leads for your dental practice, and then maybe on autopilot. Okay. And let's go ahead and let's make this a little bit bigger. Right? So how to generate more leads for your dental practice on autopilot. A lot of the times also what I like to do is I like to put a sub headline. And a lot of the times you'll see a lot of funnels built in the industry. It says without X, Y, and Z. And those withouts are usually things that in their mind are like, oh, well, I don't have this, so this won't work for me. Or I can't do that, so this won't work for me. Right? You're basically shattering their internal beliefs of what they think that they can't do or why this won't work for them with just a one-liner below them, right? So a lot of the times dental practices, if they're trying to generate more clients, they end up spending sometimes thousands of dollars to generate leads, right? Or they'll end up having to build a team internally and have to, a marketing team to build out these crazy funnels and doing all of this. They'll have to basically do it on their own. Or a lot of the times dental practice, like dentists are elderly, right? And they're not technical, right? And they think that maybe there's a tech block where it's like, shit, now I got to sit there and do all this techie stuff. And I don't know how to do that. I'm a dentist, right? I'm not going to sit here and build funnels and do all this crazy stuff, right? So we know that some of those are just some of the things that are probably going on in their mind. Well, we want to say something like, without any tech experience or without, we could say without any tech experience, without any tech experience, spending thousands on leads or hiring an internal team. Let's just say that that's what I wanted my sub headline to be, right? And I'm just going to bring this down a little bit, right? I'll go in, I'll make this italic. We don't need it to be bold. Let's go over here. And sometimes, guys, by the way, just to throw something out there, some of you guys are probably looking at this and you're probably like, well, aren't we going to add backgrounds and colors and amazing graphics? And I'll be honest with you guys, the shittiest landing pages that I've built usually convert the best. Funny enough as it is. It's not about what it looks like, it's about the messaging. The messaging is the most important thing that you can focus on here, right? It is not about what the page looks like. Making it prettier, obviously, is nice, right? And it'll make your business look better. But if that's going to stop you from building this funnel, I'd rather you not make it pretty and build the ugliest funnel and just have the best headline and the best sub headline and just get people to opt in. Because the only thing that you need to focus in on this page is literally just giving your message across to somebody and getting a name and email address. That is literally all you need to do on this page. You don't need to do anything else. In fact, I'm not going to do anything else on this page. I'm literally going to drop a form on here and we're done. Okay, that is all I'm going to do. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make my background, just to kind of go with the flow here. I'll make my background black, right? And literally, let's see, how to generate more leads on autopilot. We'll underscore autopilot, right? without any tech experience, spending thousands on, maybe we can say, or actually we can say leads, or hiring an internal team. All right, I'm gonna save this really quick. All right. Now what you can do here, and this is just something that I like to do. You can do it if you want. I'll do it anyways. I'll just drop this in 2 columns. Okay, I'll add a 2-column section here. And a lot of the times I'll just drop maybe an image here. And I'll just put my form here. And that's it. That's the page. Okay. That's all we're doing. Another thing is if we want to talk about just making it pretty, I can do something as simple as this. I'll just add a little flavor to it here. Simple stuff, guys, like this. I can just make the background color. And I'll just make this, let's see. Cool. Just make that as my background color, right? And I will also maybe bring the font down a little bit, right? We can do that. Doesn't need to be screaming because we want this to be the major thing that they're looking at. All right, so I'll save this. And you can drop in any image here. And a lot of the times, you know, once again, just some pro tip here on something simple that you can do is you can drop in you can drop in an image of yourself at the computer, like just sitting at a like literally this. This would like literally be my image here. Okay, that's literally what I would drop in. All right, it could be something so simple. All right, you'd be surprised. Like sometimes I put really stupid images here. You can put a picture of a freaking zebra here, and people will still opt in. Okay, and the point is because it really doesn't matter. This is what matters. This is what they're here for. Right, so anything that you're adding here is just going to be a little bit of a plus, right? To build a little bit more of brand exposure for yourself, right? So let's just say here, I'm just going to drop an image of maybe myself. Do I have an image of myself in here? All right, cool. I'll drop this AI image of myself. Great, cool. And then another thing you can do if you want is you can put a bulleted list, and on this bulleted list, change the color to white text. Let's go white. And let's go font. Let's bring up the font size. And based on what your training is, so let's say your training is teaching them, you know, the easiest 3 things you can do right now to generate leads for your dental practice, right? And then maybe you can write like lead strategy number 1, right? Just put that here as an example, right? Let's go back here, change the font color to white for that too. Cool, and we'll just make it go here, and we will get some line height going here. Cool. Lead strategy. I'm also gonna let me mute really quick to get some good audio here. Give me 1 sec, guys. I don't know how to do it from here. 1 sec. Or 2 seconds. There we go. Mute all. All right, cool. Cool. Anyways, you'll just basically put that here, you know, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and think of headlines just for the sake of time. All right, then I'll literally save this. All right, awesome. Now I basically just need to drop a form in here, and that form needs to have a name and an email. We're done. That's it. It's like the simplest thing that we need. All right, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to build out a quick form. So I'll go back to sales funnels. I'm going to go to forms. All right, I'm just going to build out a brand new form, classic form, and I'm going to call it dentist opt-in, right? And I'm going to create a new form, and I'm literally going to put, I'll put a text field because I want to grab their full name and I want to grab their email address. And literally I'll just come in here and I'll title this full name. And I'll also make this required because I want this to be a required field. And this is an email address. And I also want this to be a required field. validation required. Cool. So I've done that. I will just go to styles my form to make this. Hey, Karen, you had a question? Feel free to jump on in.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, a lot of people are starting to use like text because they're doing SMS. You think that's a limiting factor that people bounce away if you ask them for their phone numbers?
If you, yeah, 100%. If you ask for a phone number, the more information you ask, the higher your cost per lead is going to cost you. Just flat out rule. So if I ask them for just their name without their email, it might cost you $2 to get a lead. If I ask for name and email address, might be $5. If I ask for name, email address, and phone number, it might be $15. Right? The more information you ask for people, the higher guaranteed your lead cost is going to go higher. So I personally, I'm not at the point where I need their phone number right now. Right? I don't need it. I just want them to watch a training. That's my goal right now. So I'm not going to add it. I also know that I want a transparent background because I have this on like a black background, so I'll make it look nice. And I want my font color to be in white because it's going on a black background. And maybe I want my button color. I'll just leave it purple, and maybe I'll just change the actual button. I'll do, I think block button. Yes, if you do that, I don't know why it's called block button, by the way. I have to get the team to change that, but that basically makes the button big. And then I will change this to watch lead generation training now. Cool. I'll click save. All right, I got my form. I'll click publish. I don't need to really do anything here. I'll just go back to funnels, and I'll go back to my dental funnel, and I'll click edit. All right, and I will literally drop in my form there. Where is it? Form. Dentist opt-in. Cool. And there it is. And I'll just click save. All right. And what I'll probably do is I'll just, let's see, I'll just remove some padding and stuff like that from here. And then also, let me go back to forms really quick. Just want to make it look a little bit pretty. Forms. Here, edit. Okay, and styles and form width. Actually, this is already set. All right, never mind. That's cool. By the way, just as a side note, we're going to be making a bunch of enhancements to our form builder. And I think that's going live tomorrow. So hopefully our forms will look a lot sexier. But yeah, that's going to be a feature that's coming out, I think tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So excited about that. All right, cool. All right, I'm just going to save this. Well, actually, one thing that I have to do is when I go to the form, well, what happens when somebody submits this form? Well, I want to go to the next step in my funnel, right? I don't think I added the next step yet. So I'm just going to go back really quick. Save this. I'll go back and I'm going to add the next step to my funnel. Now, the next step is the training, right? So I'm just going to call this training. I'm going to click create funnel step. All right, cool. Now I'll go back, edit. And now I will just add a button action here and I'll say go to the next step. Well, I think I gotta refresh the page. Let's reload the page. All right. Go to next step. All right, cool. There we are. Save. Great. Now I got my funnel. Here it is. Very simple. Okay, it's super simple. That's all we need. Doesn't need to be sexy. Doesn't need to be insanely crazy. This is literally it. How to generate more leads for your dental practice on autopilot without any tech experience, spending thousands on leads or hiring an internal team. And then these are the 3 things that I'm going to teach you in the training. You can give them a little, sneak peek into what they're going to learn. Give me your name and your email address. And when you do this, you go to the next step in the funnel, which is now to watch a training. Karen, jump in. Go ahead.
Another question. You don't have a logo and you don't have your name. Just if you're running ads, do you think that will help people identify, or it doesn't really matter?
You can. People don't care who you are, to be honest with you. they're not at the point where they care who you are yet. They just want to learn this. This is what they're here for. Right? So the less information that you put on here, believe it or not, will actually help you. That's just my recommendation. Like I said, I've seen webinars and application funnels completely crush it with literally just a headline and text blown up on the page with a form, nothing else. Black page, white headline and text, and a form, name and email. That nothing else is on the page. You have no clue who it is, who's doing the training, anything at all, right? So sometimes it's like less is more, right? At this point, this is what they're here for. Okay. So hopefully that answers that question. All right, cool. So now I just got to go to the next step in my training. I got to go to the next step, which is going to be training, and I'm just going to click edit. And now I'm literally going to do the same thing. And just to kind of keep congruency here, I'll make my background black. I'll add a new section, and the section will literally just be called the same exact thing. So I will literally take this, okay, and I'll just put title here, headline, awesome. Headline, there we go. And I will need to make this white. And I'm just repeating once again what's happening here. This is literally what they're watching, right? So I'm just going to put this up at the top. All right. And now what I want to do is I want to add, I'll add a new section. Yeah, I'll add a new section, and I'll just make this one column. And usually a lot of times what I like to do is I'll just put a setting here, and I'll make this white. I'll make this white too. Little trick here that I like to do. So I like to make this basically red. I will also do, where is, okay, so let me actually change the text, and then I'll say, watch the training below before this page expires. Right. We just want to add a little bit of urgency in here to make sure that they click on the button and they watch a training. Okay. And then literally I will just add another element, and I'll add my video right under it. Okay. And another thing that you can do just to spruce it up is I'll add an icon before it, and I will just put a play button. Okay. That's literally what I'll do. All right. And then whatever my training is, I'll literally just go to my video itself, and I'll just drop the URL there. So let's just go to YouTube as an example, and I'll go to any video. All right. Here, let's just go to this video. I'll just literally drop this. I'll put this in here. And then so just some things in here that you want to do. I like to turn autoplay on. So the video starts playing. So that's one thing that you can do. You can turn video controls on if you want them to fast forward. I think it's perfectly fine if you want them to do that. Let's just see what this looks like. Cool. There we go. And the video autoplay. And what I will do is turn this. Only works if autoplay is on and video controls are off. Oh, that's why. All right, so let's just say I want to turn the video controls on, and I'll put the unmute. So I'll leave this on, and I'll put this as yes. Basically, what this will do is give you like an unmute label. So if somebody comes to the page, it'll autoplay, and you'll have this little label here where it's like, click here for volume. And you click on it, basically, and it watches, and it blocks out the video controls, so they don't know how long the video is. They're just here for the training. Okay. So that's basically what I would do there. And then literally I would do something as simple as this. I would just add another element right below it, and I would add a button. Okay. And that button would literally say, schedule your free strategy session. Okay. And I would just make the text bigger. Right, just make it look pretty a little bit. Do some corners there. Awesome. I like to make my buttons full width. Maybe I will make the background purple. That's what I want to do. Cool. I will add a little margin on top, so it's not doing that. I'll add also an icon before it, or maybe calendar. Cool. And I can, even if I want, add subtext. Free. You could do something like this and get your free business performance report, right? And I would just go to subtext, make this a little bit bigger. Okay. All right, awesome. So literally this is what it would be. Schedule your free strategy session and get your free business performance report. So that can be something as simple as like when you're at the end of this physical training, you're basically telling them, hey, go ahead. If this all sounds good to you, go ahead and click the button below. Let's jump on a free strategy session where I'll actually dig into your business. But even more so, I'll actually go ahead and run a complimentary 20-page report that'll basically show you exactly where your business is online. It'll show you everywhere from your ads to your reviews, to your SEO, to your website, to your listings, to literally everything. And I will go through this on the call with you together. So click the button below. It'll take you to the next page and go ahead and schedule a call with myself or my team or whoever it is, right? That's going to be taking that call, right? Does that make sense? Everybody good there so far? This is not like I haven't done anything crazy here, right? This is pretty simple stuff. All right, let's see what this page looks like. Beautiful. All right, looks super simple. Here's my training. All right, watch my training, and at the end of the training, I go and I click this button. Now, in order for me to add a button action, because I want to basically say, hey, when you get to this, you got to go to the next step. I got to add my next step first. So the next step that we're basically going to add here is schedule call, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to schedule a call with me, right? And then I'm just going to add the next step too, and this will be, let's just call it. Oops. Come on, Chad. Formation. I'm probably not spelling this right. I'm the worst speller, by the way, guys. All right. Confirmation. It's spelled right. Cool. All right. Awesome. Whoops. There's chats coming in. Sorry, guys. Mr. Chats here. Proud of that order. Should be privacy page. Yeah, you can do like privacy page and stuff like that too if you want. I just linked to the privacy page on my website, to be honest. So. But yeah, you can do that. That's not a problem. You can just add that at the little bottom, just a little thing that says privacy page. But anyway, so I'm just going to go over here. And once again, I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm just going to click add. What I'll do is I'll just, once again, to keep kind of the theme here, I'll just make it all black background. I'll do full width. I'll do one column. I will do a headline here. And I will make this text white. There we go. And I'll just say something like schedule your free strategy call below. And then I can do something where I duplicate this and get your free business performance report. Okay. All right. And I'll come in here and I'll make this italic. Right. And I'll just bring down this font size a little bit. Right. That's as simple as that. Cool. And I'm going to save this and I'm just going to come in here now and I'm going to add a new element. And I'm going to add a custom code element, and now I'm just going to go to Calendly, and I'm just going to grab an event from my calendar. All right, I'll actually bring this in here so you guys can see how simple this is. So I just go to Calendly. I go to my event, I click on share, add to website, inline embed, and I don't like this thing because it's annoying. And I just literally copy that and I just add that in here. Open editor, copy paste, done. Okay. And once again, if you want, you can make this prettier. Just for the sake of time, I'm not going to do that on the call, but I think you guys get the gist here. Now we got a calendar page, right? Now they are booking a call on my calendar, right? And then I want to basically set up a redirect here. So like if I was in Calendly, I would just go to my event. So let's just say I go to here, I go inside my event, right? And I say confirmation page, and I would just redirect this to an external site, and I would just put the link to my confirmation page there. All right. That way, when somebody books, it automatically redirects them to the next page in the funnel, which would be my confirmation page. So I would just literally save this. Right. The first thing I also want to do is I want to go back to the training page and just link my button. So go here and say, okay, well, when you click this button, go to the next step. Awesome. I go back and now I go to the confirmation page. Right. And I would literally just obviously, when you do this, hook up a domain name, like whatever your domain name is. Like if I was doing this, I would go buy a domain name for $10 on GoDaddy. That would be like getmydentalleadsnow.com or some crap like that. Right. And I would literally just hook it up to here. So that way, like the whole thing is all about like dentists, getting dentist leads, like everything just makes sense. Right. And I would literally just copy the thank you page link. Right, and I would just go in here and just paste it in here and click save, and that's it. I'm done. I'm not going to save this obviously because I don't want to ruin this. So let's go back real quick. All right, let's get out of this. Let's get out of all of these extra tabs. All right, and I'm going to go to my confirmation page. I'm going to edit my confirmation page. I'm going to go to my background, turn this on once again, get a black background in there. I just do a quick headline. Make the headline white and literally just do something as simple as like, your call has been scheduled. Okay, and then what I like to do is I told you guys, I like to add a video on the thank you page to help increase conversions. So I'll do this, and then I'm just going to add like a quick text thing here that I did with the other one, where I'll just make this white. And I'll do background, and I'll make the background, red. And I'll bring this up. And I'll literally just say, watch the video below for what to do next. Okay. And then literally I would just drop my video in there, and my video would literally say something like, hey, congratulations on scheduling your call. We're super excited and super pumped up to speak to you. On the day and time of the call, if you can just make sure to understand, one, it is a Zoom call. So be on the lookout in your email for a link to join the Zoom call. You'll also get some reminders before the call, because I know in Calendly I have reminders set up to go out 24 hours, 1 hour, and 5 minutes before the call. So you'll get some reminders from us, letting you know when we all get busy. So we'll remind you of the call. And then also, if you can, please make sure to dedicate at least 30 minutes of the time. That's how long the call is. Just make sure that you're in a quiet place where you can fully concentrate. On my end, I'll have the business performance report pulled up for you. And we're going to go through that report and see where your business is online and how we can help generate you more leads using our dental automation practice lead generation insane crazy name system.com in the membrane. Okay. And that's literally what we're going to do. All right. And then we click save. All right. Now, does everybody understand that I just built out an entire funnel in like 30 minutes. And I'm training you guys on how to do it at the same time. Does everybody understand that? So there's no reason why anybody in this room can't go and just do this themselves in 30 minutes, right? Nothing I did on here was really technical or anything like that. All I was doing is just like adding sections and elements and changing the text and maybe just changing some colors to make it look pretty, right? So like that's it, right? Richard said change challenge. Yeah, I am the worst speller ever. Like horrible. All my emails have to get like proofread by like 3 people in my office before I send out email blasts, and they still have errors. I don't know how, right? So, but yeah, this is literally how simple it should be. Okay, so now basically I take this and I send all my traffic to this page. This is where I send all of my traffic. Okay, so somebody comes in here, they put in their name and email. So I'm just gonna say whatever, Bobby Jones, right, at bobbyjones.com. Cool. And I'm gonna click watch lead generation training now, right? And it submits, and then it automatically redirects me to the training. Oh, awesome. Now I'm on the training. Click on the training. To watch the 15-minute training that you have, and then I'm gonna click schedule your free strategy session. And then bam, I'm gonna get to the page and I literally pick a day and time and I schedule my strategy session. And I'm not gonna schedule a call here. And then it just redirects me to the next page, right? And that's what you have to do. That's it's a basic rudimentary application funnel that you can whip up within 30 to 60 minutes. Okay. I just asked, when doing funnels for customers, if customer audience target in Facebook ads is not high, could you use geo-targeting, geo-fencing to increase exposure? You can't, when you're running ads, like just primarily, like especially for this, I like to go wide, right? And then I'll run ads and then I'll start drilling down. I'll also segment, I'll split test different audiences. So like if I'm doing this seriously, if I'm taking this seriously and I want to spend $100 a day, usually when I run ads, I'm doing about $100 a day to start testing. That's me. That doesn't mean that you have to do that, okay? But maybe you want to do $10 a day. And if you want to do that, that's totally fine, but understand your metrics. Understand that it might cost you $5 to $10 for a person to come in here and put their name and email address and go through your funnel. And understand that every person that puts in their name and email address is not going to go through and watch your training and also fill out the application and land on the confirmation page, right? You might have like a 5 or 10% conversion rate where you're actually getting applications, which basically means if it costs you $10 to generate a lead in this funnel and 1 out of every 10 people actually fill out an application, well, then it costs you $100 to generate an application. Does that make sense, guys? Does the math make sense there? And those are the numbers that you have to know, right? And what do you do to bring down those numbers? Well, it's as simple as just looking at what's actually wrong, right? So if I go back and I whip open my drawing here, my handy dandy drawing, we literally just built this whole thing out. Okay, whoops. Let me make this big screen. We literally just built this whole thing out. So what did we do? We built the landing page, we built the training page, we built the application page, and we built the thank you page. 4-step, super simple funnel. We have it up and running in less than an hour. And now all we're doing is we're going into Facebook ads and we're just building out an ad campaign and we're targeting dentists. Okay. Now understand, I'm going to use an example to simulate traffic running through this to understand what this might possibly look like. Okay. Is everybody cool with that? By the way, is everybody getting like some light bulb moments, some like, oh, I can do this. Like, Chad just literally did this in 30 minutes. Like, there's no reason why when I get off this call, I can't do the exact same thing and build the exact same funnel, right? By the way, just as a side note, what I would do, I'm going to share my screen one more time because I did forget to talk about it, and it is important. Most of the people who are going to see your ads, probably like 90% of them, they're going to be on their mobile device. So make sure when you're done building your funnel, go back to your funnel, all right? Go to the mobile option and optimize for mobile. So literally just come to each element and say, okay, cool. For my font size for mobile, you'll see it's here. I'm just gonna make this a little bit smaller so it doesn't look like super weird, right? This looks cool, so I'll just leave it the way it is. This looks maybe this also on mobile just doesn't need to be this big. So I'll just bring the font size, oh, that's the icon size, whoops. I'll just bring the font size down on the bullet list. Come on, where is you? There it is. All right, cool. I'll just bring the font size down a little bit. Awesome. Great. Okay, cool. Save. Next, right? And then maybe I want to make my button a little bit shorter because the button's getting cut off here, right? So I'll just go back and say, watch lead gen training or watch, something simple, right? Something more simplistic, all right? That's it. That's all I would do. So make it mobile optimized, okay? We all good with that? Cool. Let me open up the chat again to make sure I'm not missing you guys. Let me get the chat roll like indefinitely opened up. All right, cool. Awesome. I want to make sure everybody's good with that. So I go back. Now I got my funnel. Now I go to my analytics. Let's talk about what this looks like when I start simulating and running traffic through this. Okay. By the way, one more thing, because I keep forgetting stuff. Once you're done with this and you built this whole thing out, what you'll want to do is you'll want to obviously connect a domain name to it. So you can just click on the settings here and just click on new domain name and just put whatever domain name you want to use. Just go buy a domain name on GoDaddy and call it, leadgenfordentist.com, whatever the hell you want to buy. It really doesn't matter. Go buy a domain name. I would make it something similar to what I'm actually talking about. Connect that domain name here. If you have issues, open up a live chat. Our team will help you do that. All right. And once it's connected there, right in here from the settings, you can just assign it to that funnel. Right. So I would just assign it to the funnel and then that's it. And then now I have like my domain names live on a funnel. Right. And then I just come in here and I would just turn this live. Right. I can't do that right now because I don't have a domain name associated to this. Okay. Pretty simple. All right. So you just go to settings if you want, and you can associate a domain name here. But all your domain names that you've hooked up will be in here. Pick whatever domain name you want, and then you can just turn your funnel on. And that's it. You're in live mode. You're ready to rock and roll. It's ready to start sending some traffic. Okay. Everybody good with that? Cool. Want to make sure we're all on the same page. Drop a number 3 in the chat. Just give me a little pulse here. All right, awesome. Cool. Now you want to run traffic. So you'll go into your Facebook ads manager and you'll create some very easy ads that basically talk about whatever it is that you're talking about on here on this page. That basically should be in an ad format. So your ad should literally say, hey, dentist, want to learn how to generate more leads for your dental practice on autopilot without any tech experience, spending thousands on leads, or hiring a team? In this training, I'm going to show you how to do these 3 things. Click the link below and sign up for more information. That's your ad. Okay, very simple. Doesn't have to be confusing. It's all about messaging. Understand this, guys. I'm going to repeat it again. It is 100% about messaging. It's what you're actually saying to your audience. Everything on top of that, which is like having like creative videos and being funny and making your page look beautiful and like all of those things, all they're going to do is bring your lead costs down. That's all they're going to do. That's how you optimize. My opinion to you, don't optimize yet. Throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. Okay? And then start making it perfect after. Because a lot of the times what will happen is you'll try to make things perfect and it will stop you from actually launching your funnel. Trust me, it's happened to me many times. The best thing is just build, run ads, runs traffic to it, and then dissect. Okay? And what you'll want to look at is you'll want to look at your actual, you'll look at this. Right? And I can just give you some like just very basic things of how to identify if something is working or if something is not working. All right? If you are running traffic and you are getting people to click on your ad and your click-through rate, your CTR is like above a 1% or a 2%, and people are clicking on your ads, but barely any people are opting in, well, that means you need to change something here. It means a bunch of people are clicking on your ad, but your landing page sucks. If no one is clicking on your ads, right? No, like your Facebook showed your ad to like 1,000 people, right? And like one person clicked on it and you have a really low click-through rate. Well, that means your ads suck and you need to change something in your ads. So you got to change something here. I like to call it like follow the path, right? Just understand what's happening and be logistical about it, right? Well, if nobody's clicking on my ads, Well, that doesn't mean something's wrong with my funnel, because if nobody clicked on my ads, then nobody ever got to my funnel. So that means my ads suck. So start changing your ads, right? Start changing the copy, change the images, change things inside of your ads, right? And start testing stuff. Maybe change your audience. Maybe you need a new audience, right? But I would start with the easiest thing to start with. It's most of the time, it's your copy and your images and videos. That's usually what's wrong. Okay. If you're targeting dentists, it's not going to be your audience, because you're targeting dentists. Your messaging is off. You're not resonating or connecting with them. Okay. So you need to change that. All right. Now, if you're running ads and people are clicking on your ads and you're generating leads here, and you're like, wow, I'm generating leads for like $10. This is awesome. Like, people are giving me their name and email address, and it's costing me $10 every time that happens, right? The problem is I'm not generating any applications, right? Well, what do you think is wrong in that scenario? Can anybody guess? What do you think is wrong in that scenario? What would you go and you change? Right? Drop it in the chat. What would you change? Right? If people are clicking on your ads, they're giving you your name and email address, and they're watching your training, right? And then nobody's booking. Well, it's your training video. Yeah, you're right, Mark. Because guess what? They're stopping here. They're not actually, well, technically here, sorry. They're stopping here. That means your training sucks and you need to do a new training. That means you got these people all excited to come in. They all are excited to watch your training, and then they pay to watch it, but you pay for them to watch it. They put their information in. So like everything is working here, right? So you don't touch anything here. Everything's working there. Your training sucks. Now you have to redo the training. And some people are going to be like, oh my God, I have to redo the training. This is going to take me another 8 weeks and I have to redo the whole funnel. Like, no, dude. Go to fucking Loom and shoot a new 15-minute Loom video and redo the training and pop it in here and continue your day. Press save and go on with your day and keep testing and let traffic flow through, right? The point of this is the point of launching a funnel is understand. How many people understand that when they launch a funnel, like I can guarantee you guys, when you launch your funnel, it's not going to work. And some of you guys are like, Chad, why the hell would you tell me that? Like, that's so discouraging, because that's the reality of funnels, right? You launch it and then it doesn't work. And then you fix something and then it starts working. And then you fix another something and it starts working, right? And like, it's like anything, like when you first start with something, you're going to suck at it. You're going to completely suck, and that is okay. And then you're going to do it for a little bit and you're going to suck a little bit less, right? And to the point where you don't suck at all and you're actually pretty decent at it, right? And that's just how life works, right? So when you launch this funnel, the funnel's going to suck. Just understand that and have that as your expectation. Don't have it as the expectation that you're going to generate leads for $3 a lead, because that's not going to happen, right? Have it as the expectation that your funnel is going to suck, and understand how to read the metrics and change things, pinpoint where the issues are and change things, and go back in and run more traffic, right? That's the secret to funnels, until the point where you have a funnel that actually works and is producing you leads. And you might be generating leads after a month of doing this and spending maybe $1,000 on the funnel. You finally got it dialed in where you're generating applications for $50 a day. And now you have a machine that's literally just generating you leads 24/7 on autopilot, and you control the faucet. You want to turn leads on, just bump up your ad spend. You want to turn leads off, we'll just turn the ads off. You have a machine to get people on your calendar every single day. And that is the thing where most agencies fail. They don't have a predictable way to generate leads on their calendar every single day, right? And what I mean by leads is you can generate lead. And by the way, guys, just as a side note, you're going to have a lot more people, like probably like 1 out of 10 people might fill out your application, maybe even less than that. Totally fine. Okay. Because to get somebody to fill out an application is to get somebody in their mind to basically say, wow, I'm blown away. And like, I have to speak to this guy or gal. Like, I need more information. I need this for my business. Right. And that all has to do with what you're going to present in the training. And that's why your trainings are so important. Like that 15-minute training, 10, 15, it should, by the way, that training should be like 10 or 15 minutes, right? You need to wow them. You need to give them so many light bulb moments in that training to the point where they're like, okay, like this, I have to speak to this person. Like this is the solution for my business needs, right? This is the problem. This is the solution to my problem, right? But if they don't feel that in that training, then nobody's gonna book a call with you. Like if you do like a boring ass training where you're like, oh, I'm gonna show you how to set up a Google business listing in this handy dandy training today. Like, dude, they can fucking YouTube that shit and figure out how to set up a Google business listing. They don't need you for that. ChatGPT can show them how to set up a Google business listing in 30 seconds. They don't need to watch your 15-minute training, right? Understand that the training is probably one of the most important elements of this, right? There has to be light bulb moments. There has to be excitement in there. You cannot be boring, right? You have to educate and entertain people in that 15 minutes. You have 15 minutes to get this person to understand that they want to just speak to you more. That's really what's happening in that 15 minutes. They want more of you, right? Because now you're an authority figure because they just watch your training, right? Now you're somebody who they want to work with, who they want to speak to more of, right? That's what needs to happen in that training, right? You can also do a lot of other cool things like remarketing. I'm not going to get into that today, where like somebody, watches your training but doesn't get to your thank you page, and you can create a segment inside of Facebook of an audience and remarket those people, right? You can definitely do that too. Okay, we're not going to get into that because that's like a whole Facebook, next level stuff. But you can do a lot of cool things like that. But you don't need to focus on that right now. What you need to focus on is just getting people through the doors, right? Getting people to watch and go through your funnel. And getting to, I think the biggest thing, by the way, guys, the biggest thing that I want you to take out of this is it's okay to suck. It's okay to launch your funnel and suck. Guys, do you know how many funnels I launched that completely flop? By the way, okay, let's do something fun. You see that funnel right there on the wall? That's our coaching program funnel. I rebuilt that funnel like 4 times before I actually got it to produce $1 million. And it took me time to build it. And I had to spend money. And I had to run traffic through it. And I had to test different things, different headlines, and different images, and different ads. And like, that's just part of it. Things are going to suck until they get better. Okay? So are you guys okay with that? Does that make sense? So here's some homework for you guys, okay? What I would like for you guys to do when you get off of this call, and if you guys can write this down for me so everybody's on the same page, I want everybody in here to actually go and build their own funnel. The first thing that you're going to want to do is figure out who you're going to be targeting. So that's step number 1. Figure out who you're going to be targeting. Go to Facebook and make sure you can target them also. That's a big important factor. Okay? Figure out who you're going to be targeting. Okay? Then after that, you can go out and just build your funnel. That's fine. And write all the copy. And then plug your videos in after. I like to do it reverse. For you guys, it's probably easier because I just think differently and work in weird ways. For you guys, it'll probably be easier, honestly, if you just build out your funnel and then you plug in your videos after. The reason why I like to build my videos first is because I like to base all of my copy on whatever I'm saying in my videos, right? So like I'll shoot the videos first and I'll get the whole concepts out for everything. I plug it in and then I write my copy based on what I'm saying in the video so it matches. If you want to do it that way, you can do it that way too, right? But go out and build your 4-page funnel. And it should be a landing page, a training page, an application page, and a thank you page. It should be 4 simple steps. Now this funnel, by the way, now I'm a professional funnel builder, so I can build a funnel very fast. So let's say you're not a professional funnel builder and you've never built a funnel before. This funnel should not take you more than a day to build. In fact, it should not take you more than like 4 hours to build. You can probably knock this funnel out in a couple of hours. That's the reality of what it is. Okay? Build out your funnel. Plug in your videos. And then the last thing that you're going to do is go and create a Facebook ad campaign. A very simple Facebook ad campaign. If you don't know how to run Facebook ads, take a day and watch a very basic video and training on YouTube on how to run a basic Facebook ads campaign, because you need something basic. Okay. You need to create a campaign. You need to create an ad set. Inside of your ad set, you need to put your targeting, and then you need to create 1 or 2 ads and then just press play. That's all you need to do. Okay. And send traffic to your landing page of your funnel. That's it. You send traffic to your landing page of your funnel. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you are going to look at that funnel every single day and look at the metrics. And you're going to figure out where people are stopping off, and you're going to keep reiterating and improving. Okay. What I would like you guys to do is, how many of you guys right now are inside of our Marketers Mindset Facebook group? Because I know there's a mixed audience in here. We have some Dash Elite members. We have some people that, you know, bought some offers from us during our launch of funnels. How many of you guys are inside of the Marketers Mindset Facebook group? Okay. If you're not, I practically live in there. So I'll drop the link in here. Cool. If everybody can do me a favor, go join that group really quick. It's our Facebook group. That's pretty much where our whole community lives, and that's where I live too. What I would like you to do is build your funnel, and I want you to drop a link to your funnel, whether it's the preview link or if you get it on a final URL, you can drop it on the URL there too, right? I want you to actually, for self-accountability, and for me, I'll actually leave feedback on your funnel. If you post this, I will actually create a Loom video publicly and add it as a reply, and I will review your funnel for you. Okay. So go in there, tag me and say, Chad, I just built an awesome funnel. Can you review it for me and tell me what you think? And drop the link to the funnel there. All right. Might not do the same day. Give me a couple of days, but I will review, and I will reply back to that with a Loom video, and I'll do a funnel review telling you what I think about your funnel and what you should change. Okay. What I think you should change. All right. Can everybody do that? Can we drop a number 5 in the chat if you guys are good with doing that? Okay, Andre said yes. Karen said yes. Mark said yes. Anybody else that's actually going to go and build out a funnel? Alan said yes. All right, so those are the only 4 people out of all the people in this training that are going to go and build out this whole funnel system. All right. Cassie said yes. Cool. So for you 5, I guess, if you're the only ones who sat through an hour and a half training that are going to actually implement this, okay, go ahead, build out. And by the way, guys, I'm not here for me. I'm here for you. I just want everybody to know that. Okay. I have funnels that are working. I have funnels that are producing millions of dollars. Right. I'm not here for myself. I'm here for you guys, to help you guys. So the biggest thing that you can do is jump off of this training and actually take that hour and a half of training that you just took away from your life, that hour and a half, and actually go start implementing and go start building, right? Because if not, you literally, unfortunately, just wasted an hour and a half of your life looking at me, right? And that's not what I want for you. So go and actually implement. The only way that these things work is if you actually implement. That's what needs to be done. For those of you that don't implement, you're just going to continuously just learn, and nothing is going to come out of it. You need to start implementing. Okay, guys? So I hope just to leave you on that note of some information to try to push you forward and tip you over to really take action. Okay, guys? So without further ado, I'll close out the call. For those of you guys who want to hit the replay of this, I'll put this replay on our YouTube channel so you can watch us, and anybody else who wants to watch this can watch this as well. But go ahead and do this. Add your funnel link into the Facebook group. Tag me so I can actually get notified. I will review your funnel, and hopefully we can start sending some traffic to it, and you can start generating some leads for your agency. All right. Sound good, guys? Drop a number 3 in the chat. Sound good? All right, cool. Who's going to take action right now? Drop a number 4 in the chat. If you're going to take action, like literally right now, you're going to close out this webinar and you're going to go start building your funnel. Love it. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully you've learned a lot, and I will see you on a future training. Have a good one, guys. Bye, everyone.